G'day team, this is a brief overview of warm-ups and accessories for bench 1. First of all, we're going to talk about hand positioning with the kettlebell whilst going overhead. If you see here with my wrist lodged into the edge of the kettlebell handle and the bell itself, I create more stability. Here, with it sitting on the back of my forearm, it's a round surface on a flat surface so it can roll around and shift. Locking the kettlebell in here will make it more stable not only on the chest but as we press overhead. Strongly recommend this grip and practicing it. In my opinion, kettlebell overhead pressing is one of the most effective overhead presses if you only have time for one in your program. Reasons for, throughout this press, the kettlebell is a little bit more unstable than a dumbbell, so it forces the shoulder stabilizing muscles to work a little bit harder. We get good internal and external rotation of the shoulder joint, and the mass of the kettlebell whilst overhead is placed slightly behind the shoulder, so it forces us to reach up into full extension and use our upper back and lat muscles to stabilize the shoulder joint as we're pressing. Ensure you use a good range of motion and focus on clean internal and external rotations. Prone scapular retractions are a great priming and activation drill for our upper back rhomboids and traps. I like to do these before we jump on the bench press to make sure the shoulders are functioning properly and we're using our upper back. When we're performing this movement, we need to lay flat on the ground, pull our chest off the ground through thoracic extension and hold. Use a light weight, control all movements and touch the dumbbells very lightly to the floor. Here I'm performing narrow grip pull-ups with a neutral grip. These are a fairly simple exercise. Things to remember to keep your core engaged. I like to have my legs slightly strained out in front of myself while I'm doing them. Making sure we go to a full range and a dead stop at the bottom of every rep. Getting our chin above the bar every rep. And making sure we use our scapula, not just our lats. By that I mean the start of the movement should be cueing the shoulder blades down and squeezing the upper back and shoulder blades together. Then we pull ourselves to the top of the bar with our lats. If you struggle with bodyweight pull-ups, this is probably the easiest progression to get yourself there. We'll start with a thick resistance band wrapped around the top of the rack and our foot in the band to assist in reducing some of our body weight. And as we progress, we'll go to a less and less assistive band until we have the strength to perform them unassisted. Another switch out for bodyweight pull-ups that we can do is a neutral narrow grip pull down on the lat pull down machine. You'll see here from this side view, I'm really focusing on getting a full range of motion at the top, a nice stretch out of my lats by tucking my head through my arms, pulling the cable down with control to my chest and controlling all phases of the movement. Remember with these accessories, it's always quality of movement over weight used in the movement. Here's a quick back view. Not much to see here any different, but do note how I'm tucking my head through, stretching my lats and my arms right up to the top to increase range of motion and get the most out of this exercise. Moving on to the single hand cable lateral raise. This is just a small variation of a dumbbell lateral raise where we're focusing on working the lateral head of the deltoids. You'll see by the way I'm holding on and leaning away from the machine, I'm able to increase my range of motion, therefore I'm not needing to use as much weight. It's single-handed so we can take it nice and slow, really feel the burn through the shoulders and start building on some mass there. Tricep press downs are a fairly simple isolation exercise. You'll see here by keeping my upper arms locked into my side and not moving position there, I'm able to isolate my triceps entirely. There's two variations here. This is a rope press down and the next video here is a bar press down. There's not too much difference between the two exercises. I do find with the rope attachment we can pull it apart slightly at the bottom and it's just going to target the inside of the triceps a little bit harder. Be strict with your form. There's no point using your back in this exercise as it's tricep dominant. Finally, we have hollow body leg extensions. This is probably one of my favorite core exercises. At the start of this video, I'm demonstrating the easiest variation by keeping our legs high in the extension. And as I move through, the lower I go, the more difficult the exercise becomes. Important things to remember here are to keep the small of the lower back pushed into the ground so we have a slightly rounded position from tailbone to spine. Keep your movements slow and controlled and try to circular breathe through the motion and don't hold your breath. That's it for this session. I hope this has been helpful and as always, party on and enjoy your training.